Before he was the boss, the player found himself involved with the 3rd Street Saints for one of the reasons people get into gangs in the first place. Firsthand, every gang in Stillwater in 05, he witnessed them be the quote-unquote bad guys, all while being saved by Troy and Julius.
Come on! Fuck Wrong time, wrong place, dog.
You okay, player?
Julius, let's move.
During the player's journey, he spent his time building the Saints, but during this, we learned his biggest weakness at this time, which is him being naive.
That don't look so bad. You should be fine. That's Troy. You can thank him later.
Hey.
The row ain't safe no more, son. We got gangs fighting over shit that ain't theirs. And you in the way, they don't care if you represent or not.
Julius, this is no time to recruit.
We need all the help we can get, son.
No, we need to get our asses out of here.
In a minute. Look, the row's got a problem. Come to the church when you want to be a part of the solution.
This alone started to show his weakness. Julius made his offer sound good as far as convincing Playa to join his gang, and in a way, him witnessing this attack, he wanted to do what he could to help. Julius even used this what happened to Playa to encourage him and the rest of the 3rd Street to take back the road.
Every motherfucker here knows what we need to do. Now those bitches be riding around here thinking they own these streets. I don't care what flags they flying. Rollers, Carnales, Vice Kings. No one's making this nigga scared to walk the road. We about to lock this shit down right now.
All right, yeah!
Yeah!
Fuck yeah! Who the fuck's this guy?
Before this, if you don't know, Playa has to get jumped in the Saints, but here he seals his fate at this point without even knowing it.
Troy and I found him. We're gonna see if he'll ride with us.
Julius, if he wants to run with the Saints, he gotta be canonized.
Hey, he's right, Julius. Everyone had to do it.
You ready for this, player?
Whether if he was pummeled or stood his ground, he still was encouraged by everyone.
You earned your colors today.
That's some impressive shit. The only other Saint who kicked ass like that was Johnny.
Shit took me half the time.
Welcome to the 3rd Street Saints.
But if he does get knocked down, the reality of what the Saints was about starts to show. But at this point, him being naive made it too late, now having to die to lead a gang.
Come on, get on your feet. We all went through that.
Blood in, blood out.
Welcome to the 3rd Street Saints. Let's get down to business. If we're serious about taking back the row, we gotta let those motherfuckers know what time it is. Now you break it down, and it's all about respect. Get enough of it, they're gonna back off, and we're gonna move right on in.
After taking over the row, Playa spent his time trying to get respect for him at 3rd Street, but here Julius starts to reveal his real motive for the Saints. It started off with Julius just wanting to take the row back, but in his next speech, he speaks on taking over the whole city to when he tells Playa to go to Dex, Johnny, Lynn, and Troy to make this happen.
Listen up, people. I got some serious shit to discuss. Yeah, we cleared out the row. You think for a second that's gonna stop them? Unless we wipe all these motherfuckers out, they're gonna keep coming. And they ain't gonna be happy. It ain't gonna be settled until the Carnales, the Rollers, and the Vice Kings ain't nothing but a memory. Dex, you got the Carnales. Ever since they hooked up with the Colombians, it's like they own this town. Be smart how you move against them. There's a reason they're still around.
Got it.
Troy, you dealing with the Vice Kings.
Not a chance.
Fuck you say?
Anyone but them.
You scared of going against Benjamin King?
Man, fuck that. I'll take King out.
Keep an eye on your boy.
I don't need a fucking babysitter, Julius.
Keep an eye on your boy.
Who's got the rollers?
I do.
Lynn?
The fuck you wearing blue for?
I asked Lynn to hook up with the Rollers. We don't know much about these fuckers, so I wanted one of us on the inside. Once we're done here, go talk to one of these guys. They'll have something for you to do. It's our time now. Let's get this shit started.
These different gangs they're trying to squash all of course had different things going on, starting off with the Vice Kings.
So you're Julius's new boy, huh? You don't look like much. Then again, I don't look like I have an 8-inch cock, so I guess we're both full of surprises. The Vice Kings are named after one guy, Benjamin King. And that shit don't happen unless you're a professional or a badass. And in King's case, he's both.
The leader Benjamin King led his gang alongside Julius until the two started to have their differences. Julius had that old school mindset about gangs, whereas Benjamin used his influence in the streets to go legit, even down the line being in the music industry. Johnny being the one who's in charge to take them out, he does what he can, but with everything they started to stir up, a plan to throw the Saints off was made by King.
How's Tanya's side of things?
Grip is short, Mr. King.
I'm not happy, Anthony. You said she could handle it.
It's not her fault, Mr. King. The Saints have been fucking with her.
That's what I'm talking about! Are you gonna let these bitches disrespect us?
Everybody calm the fuck down. We ain't gonna start a war every time some motherfuckers act hard.
We gotta talk about the Saints.
Thank you.
They've taken Prawn Court.
How did this happen?
How the fuck you think it happened? Look, we need to get together here and just...
What we need is for you to shut the fuck up. You feel me?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, Mr. King.
I'll have Monroe put some pressure on the Saints. While they're distracted, it should be easy to take back what's ours. Everything else is business as usual. Understood?
With King's power, he had the mayor on his side. The Saints being a fairly new gang, things like this is why King was comfortable with handling them. When things hit the fan, Playa's naivete, along with Johnny's, show. After they didn't realize the Vice Kings were steps ahead, leading Johnny to get shot along with being held captive.
This is always the hardest part for me, you know? Balancing stopping power with personal enjoyment. Ooh, yeah, I'm feeling this. It ain't gonna be easy clearing all those VKs out of the station, so I told my crew to meet us there. Let's ride.
How about you drop the gun, honey?
If I were you, I'd listen to the lady.
Well, of course you would, you being her bitch.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Hey, no reason to be hostile.
You packing anything else?
Just some rubbers. I was hoping I could get some of William's sloppy seconds. Guess I hit a nerve.
Do yourself a favor, stay down and shut the fuck up. You 3rd Street motherfuckers think you so smart, well check this out. We ain't impressed. Hell, the only reason you got as far as you did was cause King let you. We led you right to where we wanted you, and now the police gonna finish your ass for good, just the way we planned.
Well, that explains how your bitch lost Prawn Court.
Are you gonna let him talk about me like that?
Don't worry, baby, I got this.
Yeah, Tanya, shut the fuck up.
I thought I told you to be quiet.
I got shitty hearing.
Now you got a shitty leg.
Go now!
Trust me, he ain't going nowhere.
Damn good work, Tony. I'll stop by after I pay a visit to Hughes.
I'll see you soon, boss.
So what do we do now?
We wait.
Oh, hold on, dog. That motherfucker's still out there. The fuck you mean we wait?
I mean, you're gonna sit your black ass down and wait 'cause I fucking said so. Don't worry about the one that got away. The 5-0 will take care of him.
Oh, so while you lounging, Trey Street keeps jacking us. That's great. That's fucking brilliant.
Slow up, little nigga.
The player escaping though, instantly he has to get Johnny back, leading them to continue to weaken the Vice Kings. At this point, Dex was around, but Johnny and the player started to become close for the fact them being naive. Even with being shot, Johnny still didn't want to play it smart. The same for player. Dex basically had to force the two to go with his plan.
Dex, don't worry, I have a plan.
Johnny, your idea of a plan is taking the biggest hammer you can find and smashing whatever's in your way.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, a shitty one, as your whack-ass robo-leg clearly proves.
Oh, fuck you.
Look, I worked out a plan that will hurt the Kings and put minimum risk on you.
How much murdering do I get to do?
None.
Your plan blows.
Hear me out, alright? Kings obviously got something going on with the police. I'll figure that shit out. In the meantime, I want you two to go out and cause some havoc. If we can turn the public's eye to the Kings, then the police won't have a choice but to come down on them.
Okay, so we go and do some damage. How did the VKs get blamed?
Put these on.
I'm yellow enough as it is, Dex.
Just put the damn shirt on.
Fine. Get dressed.
Later, Dex had another plan for Johnny to when Johnny goes to what he wanted to do. He even peer pressured player into doing this, but at this point, the player likes Johnny's tactics.
Okay, it looks like the cops been getting in on some of King's protection rackets. Now that's why they've been going so easy on the VKs. We gotta go public with this shit. Now if we...
Don't worry, Dex. I have something more subtle in mind.
Johnny, you can't be serious.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Where did you get those? This isn't gonna end well.
Don't listen to the old woman. I'll drive to where the cops are picking up protection money. You make them cease and desist with one of Tony's noisemakers. If we make sure the only cops we hit are the ones working for King, people gonna start asking questions, and the cops are gonna have no choice but to come down on the VKs to save face. Let's do this.
Taking over territory, taking away their legit fronts, this will cause internal conflict within the VKs. Tony was killed by the Playa after he got Johnny, leading Warren and Tanya to cut King out. King had the idea, but the people he was around didn't use their street mentality to change things, of course leading to their fallout.
Don't worry about it. Look, if it was one of mine, I'll take care of it. But I'm telling you, I don't care what colors they was wearing. It was that crew from Saints Row I was telling you about. No, I'm not making any excuse. I will. Tell your wife I said hello. Goodbye, Alderman.
Great. Now we got your crack-ass friends tripping. Like I said, fucking with City Hall's a waste of time.
Wrong. Working with them is what gives us power.
Yo, fuck that. This is what gives us power.
Now get the fuck out of my office. Look, why don't we talk about this tonight over dinner? I'm sure we can work this out, okay? All right. See you tonight. Goodbye.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Who said you could come in here?
We need to talk.
Do we now?
You've been putting yourself before the crew.
Keep talking, little nigga.
If you hadn't wasted our time sticking your nose up them white boys' asses, we could have owned the whole damn game by now.
I told you before, we ain't getting into that shit.
And why the fuck not? That's where the money is. Man, if you got down with that shit back in the day, the Carnales would have been ghosts right now. But you didn't, did you? You were too much of a pussy then, and you're too much of a pussy now. Fuck!
You forgot who you talking to. My name is Benjamin motherfucking King. I'm the man who took my crew from being a bunch of baby gangsters in Sunnyvale to being one of the most influential and feared forces in the goddamn city. You know how I did that? I said, you know how I did that?
Mr. King?
I did it by knowing when it was time to build, when it was time to watch, and when it was time to act. I'm through carrying your punk ass. If I were you, I'd drop them damn flags and get the fuck out of here before I erase your ass.
I ain't going nowhere.
You ain't hearing me, son. I said...
Yo, fuck that. You ain't hearing me.
What is this?
I built, I watched, and now I'm acting.
But regardless of what Johnny and the Playa was doing to take over things, Julius gets a call for King to when he helps him. Julius even calls out his weakness, going to say the Playa might not care, but he's forced to help, even after almost being killed before he was a saint.
Where's Gat? Fuck! Listen carefully, Playa. Benjamin King just called. It seems like one of his boys got a big head and tried to take him out. He's pinned down in the park right now and needs some help. Now what happens to King may not mean shit to you, but him and me, we got history. I owe King from way back in the day, and he ain't gonna eat it if I can help it. You're gonna go out there and save his ass. Understand? I ain't fucking around, Playa. You bring King back here safe, you feel me?
He helps King, but here Warren is betrayed by Tanya, leading her to take charge. King and Julius somewhat reuniting for the time. Julius gives him an offer he can't refuse.
Looking good, Ben.
Been a long time, Jules.
Sorry about Anthony.
That was business. Let it go.
So what's the plan?
We kill Tanya, and I get back to business.
I don't think so, Benjamin.
What?
I said no. You alive, we straight. But the Vice Kings, they're through.
Then kill me. Quit wasting my goddamn time.
Well, you got a choice. You can keep your fucking pride and die right now. Or you can be a man and walk away.
When did you get the balls, Jules?
What's it gonna be?
I ain't walking away.
Fair enough. Johnny?
I ain't walking away until I deal with Tanya.
My nigga. Johnny, put the damn gun down.
Here, Playa's a fly on the wall until he's tasked to be the wheelman. He didn't know fully about Julius' angle or King's showing his weakness. All he knew was that he was going to squash the Vice Kings.
Now you understand this ain't just about Tanya, right? We finishing the whole crew.
Yeah, I know.
So let's get to it. Plan?
I know where all them fools hang. All we gotta do is roll up there, get their attention, then lead them to the cops. They'll take care of the rest.
All right, Playa. You gonna be Mr. King's wheelman.
You ready for this, son? Let's go.
Good to have you back, Benjamin.
Keep in mind, him and Johnny shared the same ideas. But again, with Johnny being too naive, when it was time to finish things, he fell for Ben's new image instead of who we know him to be.
I've been chatting with King, and it looks like Tanya's takeover didn't sit well with everybody. The Vice Kings are fighting amongst themselves. Now's the time to take them out for good. King said he was gonna come along. I hope he hasn't gone soft.
And don't ever worry about me, baby boy, because I'm gonna handle mine.
All I'm saying is that since you got here, you've been nothing but talk.
I've smoked dozens of fools before. I ain't adding to the count unless I have to.
Oh, that's just fucking great.
I said don't worry about it.
I don't want you bitching out when you see your crew.
Ain't my crew, son. That's why I'm here, remember? So how about you put your dick away, pick up your gun, and try to keep your knee away from the bullets.
Oh, you heard the cocky son of a bitch. Let's roll. Where now?
The penthouse.
When they get to King's penthouse, the three in the elevator shows the player's weakness along with Johnny. As we see, Ben's being reserved, but the two is going into killing Tanya innocent and unaffected in a way. This really is what Julius molded them to be.
Of course, you can always drop any motherfucker flying the wrong flag.
I'm gonna skull fuck that bitch.
Hope you don't mind hepatitis.
What?
Some guys just never get enough of me.
I've had more than my fill, bitch.
It's over, girl. You're not gonna be able to fuck your way out of this one.
That's cute, sweetie. That's just precious. Please! Please don't!
Oh, Tanya, do yourself a favor and die with some dignity.
That sucks for your car. We better get out of here. The cops will be here soon. You coming, King?
All right, let's go.
Hey, I know what you told Julius and all, but why don't you stick around and roll with us? I'm sure he wouldn't mind having you around.
Don't bet on that.
You think you could find a way back to the row on your own? Aisha, you know. The pussy calls.
You did good in there, son. Here, I don't think I'll be needing these anymore.
King being around the player from the little time no doubt would stick with him from this point forward, but him taking over the Vice Kings will give him that I won feeling, making the West Side Rollers be nothing. But like Johnny, Lynn of course was naive too, even though we don't see it off rip. At first she couldn't stand the Rollers, which led her to do what she could do, being told to do by Julius. Julius didn't know much of this game, but what they got all came from cars, whether they were racing or stealing them.
See you tomorrow.
Dude, she totally wants you.
Assholes. I swear to God, we're not gonna be able to kill these bastards fast enough. Aside from macho bullshit, I haven't heard much. The only interesting news I got is that a shipment of high-performance cars is coming in today. It's not much, I know, so we're gonna make the best of it. Jack the truck carrying the cars before it makes its delivery and take it to Sampson. He'll load up the cars with a few surprises, then finish the delivery. Now get out of here before someone sees us.
She would still have slow leads, but in the next encounter, she in a way shows the player's weakness, going to say how he's no use to the Saints dead, something he definitely didn't see at this point.
Try not to look so conspicuous. You did good, but I'm not through with you yet. Those cars you stole have been rigged to blow once the engine reaches a high enough temperature. I need you to make sure those cars get nice and hot. Now, there's a race going down in Chinatown tonight, and I think you should give them some tough competition. I know these guys. If you're in the lead for the final stretch, they're gonna hit the NOS to blow past you. When they do, boom. As soon as those cars are wrecked, get the hell out of there. You're no good to us dead. Thanks for the dance. Now hurry up. You got a race to win.
Here we also see Troy for the first time. After saving Playa, with him going to say he hopes she doesn't turn into what she doesn't like.
I don't like the idea of Lynn going undercover. You roll with people long enough, and pretty soon you start thinking like them.
Later, she started to get tired how slow things were moving, leading the Playa to attack them. But the problem was, she still didn't know much, but was still willing to get into something she wasn't familiar with. Obviously, Playa wouldn't say anything because he didn't either.
I tell you and me are always making new friends. Things are moving too slow. We gotta step it up. I hear a guy named Joseph Price calls the shots. I don't know much about him except that he's friends with some mechanic named Donnie. If we get in good with Price's crew, we'll always be one step ahead of those fuckers. Here's the plan. Go and tear up Donnie's shop. Right when you're about to finish off Price's buddy, I'll rush in and save the day. Make it look good, but don't you dare mess up my car. Donnie, get down! What are you waiting for? Get in!
We gotta get out of here!
Motherfucker.
Who are you?
I'm Lynn. And you're welcome. I'm in. Donnie's setting up a meeting with the higher-ups of the Rollers. You should stop by and listen to what's being said. I'll text you the address.
This worked for them, but here her faults show. When she meets Mr. Sharp, she unknowingly already started to be unlikable, leading him to leave Price's house. The Player listening in though, he goes to make sure the Rollers stealing parts didn't go through.
So he's okay? That's great.
Yes, how could we possibly score dime bags without him?
Oh, come on, Uncle Will, he's not that—
What's up, Price?
You scared the shit out of me, Donnie.
I scared the shit out of me.
Donnie, it's always a pleasure when you bring strangers into my house.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. This is—
I'm Lynn.
She totally saved my ass, Mr. Sharp. She's a hell of a driver.
I'm the best racer that ever came out of Chinatown.
How come I've never heard of you?
'Cause I got tits.
Is that what you call those? Suppose I deserved that.
Yeah, you did.
My nephew has a unique sense of humor.
That was supposed to be funny?
Oh, I thought it was until you hit me in the face.
Yeah, then it was hilarious.
Joseph, you better hurry. You don't want to miss your meeting.
Sorry, I gotta take off. Lynn, it was nice meeting you. I'll catch you later, Donnie.
So we're finally hitting that convoy, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about, Donnie.
Well, sure, you—
I don't know what you're talking about, Donnie.
Oh, right. Just sit tight. Price should be back soon.
As stimulating as this conversation is, I'm afraid I need to make some calls. If you'd excuse me.
By the time Price get back, she still shows signs of being an insider. Once Price tells Mr. Sharp about the Saints, she corrected him after he got the name wrong. But Price didn't catch on to how she would know about this gang. Sharp would then correct Donnie after he said too much, but with Donnie vouching for Lynn, this goes unnoticed, at least from Price's side of things.
How did this happen?
A crew from Saints Row fucked up our boys.
Who?
Same guys who fucked up my shop. I think they're the 5th Street Altar Boys.
The 3rd Street Saints.
What she said. You got some time before the buyers need those parts, right?
The buyers?
Oh, they're a bunch of guys overseas that Mr. Sharp knows.
Donnie, do we have to have another conversation?
Sorry.
Don't worry about it, just think.
Give me some time. I bet Lynn and I can whip something up.
Okay. You game for that, Lynn?
Hey, anything I can do to help.
But her being around Donnie though, she started to care for him in a way. The same thing Troy feared. In this encounter, she takes up for him, but this is only making things worse, being that their dealings are not working, on top of the disrespect.
So we lost the parts the buyers wanted, and there's no way another shipment like that is going to roll through here again anytime soon. Lynn and I did the math, and there are a couple of key cars that we can strip down to get the parts we need.
See what I tell you?
So your plan is to go steal cars. You really know how to think outside the box, Donnie.
Don't talk to him like that.
I'll take your advice to heart.
It's not advice.
A threat? Huh. How refreshing.
Listen up, you old
Lynn, don't worry about it.
Shut up, Donnie.
You were saying,
I was about to tell you to go fuck yourself.
and here I thought we were bonding.
Let's go, Donnie.
That's probably the smartest thing you've said all day.
Don't worry about it. It wasn't your fault. I know you are. It's okay. Just relax, man. Yeah, you do that. Later. Fuck!
That was productive.
That's the second time the Saints fucked us!
3 times, if you count the attack on the garage. Quite a coincidence.
What do you mean?
Well, let's think. The same 4 people knew about those jobs. If I didn't sell us out, and you didn't sell us out, who else is there?
Lynn.
Bravo.
This is gonna be a bitch to explain to Donnie.
Luckily, you're not going to. Please, you're too attached to the boy. I'll handle this.
I don't give a shit what you do to Lynn, but you better not hurt Donnie.
Of course, Joseph. I'll keep that in mind.
The Saints again were under the impression they were steps ahead, but at this point the Rollers were on to them. Mr. Sharp has Lynn called a Playa to when he blindly shows up.
What's up, Playa? Lynn's been saying you're doing a hell of a job when it comes to the Rollers. Keep it up. That Lynn?
Hey, meet me at the pool hall. The Rollers are getting into something big.
Don't let me hold you up. You know how the lady hates to be kept waiting.
Good girl.
Go fuck yourself.
Lynn unknowingly got her and the Saints into this predicament, all because she refused to play it cool, even getting her and the Playa stuffed in a trunk and shot.
Hey, I think we stopped moving. You listening? You even alive? Say something. Ow! I'll take that as a yes.
What are you doing driving Lynn's ride, Mr. Sharp?
I'm glad you could make it, Donnie. There's something I want you to see.
Stay calm. We're gonna get out of this.
Lynn?
Donnie, listen to me! I swear to God!
Lynn!
Take a deep breath and count to 10, Donnie.
Count to 10? You just shot my girl!
Yes, it's tragic.
Why did you...
Lynn was working with the Saints. Now, would you give me a hand? This car is heavy.
Donnie, where are you going?
Children.
Stay calm. We're gonna get out of this. I think I found my lighter. Did you hear that asshole, Donnie? He said I was his girl.
Lynn Diane, Playa of course goes to deal with Mr. Sharp immediately. Once he kills him, he goes back to the row to when Julius shows his naivete. Playa killing Sharp, he felt they were the only ones who felt pain.
Did you catch the news? Looks like they found Lynn's body floating in the river this morning. Sorry, dog. I know you did everything you could. Johnny's gonna take it pretty hard when he finds out. You can bet your ass that he's gonna be calling for blood.
Listen up, people! We're done dicking around with the Saints. These streets were ours before those bitches from the row showed up. And when they stepped, what did we do? They fucked up our rates and we just took it. They fucked up our deliveries and we just took it. And now they killed my uncle, and who knows what the fuck they did to Donnie. Now I'm only gonna say this once. We're not gonna sit here and fucking take it!
Hell no! Yeah!
Light them up, boys! We're burning Saints Row to the ground!
We're not gonna wait for them to hit us again. We're taking the fight to the Rollers.
Yeah, well, we might have to rethink that plan.
What's going on?
Word is, every roller that Price could find is headed this way.
How much time we got?
Shit, man, I don't know. My man says they're moving pretty fast.
Alright, you coming with me. We got some rollers to fuck up.
They try to kill Price, but he gets away due to the player flying from Julius' car. This showed how determined he was to finish the rollers for Lynn.
Nigga, you should buckle your seatbelt. Just the same, one getting away ain't bad. Let's get out of here, player. We'll deal with Price once you get patched up.
Meet me at the car dealership if you think you got the balls. We're ending this tonight.
It wouldn't take them long to finish the rollers, but Julius calls Playa to win their naiveness show. Julius goes to say how it's things he doesn't know about. If Julius was stumped, the player for a fact had no clue either.
That was a hell of an explosion. You okay, player?
I got ran over by a motherfucking truck. What you think?
Oh, quit being a bitch. We didn't fuck the rollers hard. They ain't got nothing left. There are a few loose ends, though. Like, who the fuck those buyers are Sharp was talking about? I got a feeling some shit going on we don't know about. I'll catch you later at the church.
At this point, the Saints are strong, but it wouldn't be enough. Last and least, the Carnales was the one to go. We seen the other two Saints die and get shot in the leg, but with Dex, he was more rational and more organized with the info he picked up, even having a planning board.
Oh, hey man, didn't hear you come in. Check this out. The Carnales were the first organized gang in the city. The way Julius tells it, they owned the whole damn town until Benjamin King stepped up against them. Tell you what though, I ain't worried about their history so much as I am the fact that A, the Lopez brothers are crazy motherfuckers, and B, Victor, their enforcer, survived a dozen VK drive-bys. Sounds pretty bad, right? Now add in that the Carnales are backed by the largest drug cartel in the world, and I think you'll understand why we're gonna play this safe instead of pulling a Johnny. We cut off their income first, then we go for Hector. Sound good? That was a rhetorical question, but thanks for your support.
Although Dex was the only one not really naive, weirdly enough, his smarts is what held him back as far as being in the Saints.
Hey, you might want to hear this.
Aight. I got a lead on where the Los Carnales cut all their shit.
The Carnales.
What?
Rio Grande River. Jesus.
What the fuck?
It's not the Los Carnales, it's just the Carnales. Los means... Fuck it. One of my boys called and said they saw a truck with a heavy LC escort leaving the factory district. It's probably loaded with drugs, but that's just a bonus. Our target is the truck itself. I need it brought back to the row in one piece.
What do you need the truck for?
Let's just get the truck first, and then I'll tell you the rest of the plan.
I'm just saying it would be nice to know.
Shit, Troy, what's with all the questions? Why can't you be like my man over here?
Look, Dex.
Could you go get that truck? See? Was that so hard?
Angelo, I need you to go to the lab tonight. One of our shipments didn't arrive, and I want to make sure no one's skimming off the top.
No problem.
Hold on. Sí, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué? ¿Pero qué pasó?
What is it?
Coño, ese cabrón, hijo de puta!
That didn't sound encouraging.
Everything is fine.
Of course it is. If you would excuse me, I'm going to check on the señorita.
Ese viejo sucio maricón, yo le mato si le toca luz.
Angelo, you are my brother and I love you. But if you let your dick fuck things up with the Colombians, I'm gonna cut it off.
Forgive me, Hector.
Don't let it happen again.
¿Y qué fue eso?
Those pendejos in St. Row are the ones who took the shipment. With the Colombians arriving, we can't show any weakness.
The Colombians are already here.
All the more reason to settle this now. Victor, Angelo, gather your men together. It's time to tear Saints Row apart.
Thanks, I'll swing by to pick that up. Just the guy I was looking for. Samson's got the truck all patched up. I'm gonna go...
We got a problem, Dex.
What's going on?
The Los Carnales are attacking...
It's not the Los Carnales. Jesus, what's wrong with you?
Dex, they attacking the row.
What happened?
Angelo and his boys came out of nowhere. They fucked us up pretty hard, but it finally looked like we had Angelo pinned down. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
So they left.
Angelo and Victor did, but there was a lot of LC still out there.
Alright, let's split up. The row's a big place. We gotta make sure we smoke all those motherfuckers.
After defending the row, the Playa and Troy wanted the truck they stole earlier. With Dex things he had Playa do was simple but effective. It didn't even take him time to have the Playa kill Hector. He found out what Manuel had to do with the Carnales, but Victor of course was looking to retaliate. Before they try to find Manuel, he calls out the Playa's weakness.
When we get to Manuel, just let me do all the talking, alright? I'd hate for us to fuck things up with the Colombians because you said some crazy shit that pisses him off.
I know it was supposed to be a joke here, but think of the last 2 times the Playa even spoke. Them meeting Manuel not going through, the Carnales attacked the row again, leading Victor to be killed, leading just Angelo already.
Angelo, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're running off to get killed.
Yo no le tengo miedo a Orejuela!
Ay, come on. You don't think Manuel is responsible?
Are you protecting him?
He
You want to
didn't
be with
kill-
him? Nunca me hable así otra vez.
Going to kill Angelo, the Playa's naiveness starts to show. He didn't even realize Dex was using him as a shield. Lucky for him though, Angelo ran out of bullets. When that fails, Dex tosses him his gun, hoping he could end it.
Shit!
Don't just stand there, get in, motherfucker!
Him getting away wouldn't take long to get him though. Angelo was getting ready to leave Stillwater to when him and Dex stopped this. Angelo's girlfriend was running late to when he leaves her, but her showing up shows the Playa's weakness. He was well off at this point, which is why he will even say what he's about to say.
Johnny's gonna be jealous.
Oh my God.
What are you doing here?
I was supposed to leave with Angelo.
So what's in here? Guns? Money? Some uncut shit? Shoes?
Actually, they're this season's new.
Hey, bullshit, that's last year's fall collection.
He tries to argue his claims to when he almost shoots her, all because he was wrong. Angelo's girlfriend was right, being that she's a shoe connoisseur.
That's not true.
Just let it go, man. No reason to piss off Manuel. Let's get going.
So, what am I supposed to do now?
I don't fucking care.
I have no place to go.
C, answer A.
But you can't just leave me here.
Bitch, you're trying my patience.
Can you at least tell me where Manuel is?
I changed my mind. Shoot her. Good job, man. I'll tell Julius we're done here. Take Angelo's ride. I'll drive this back to your crib. You know what? I think Julius was right about you.
At this point, the Saints run Stillwater on the street side of things, but they spent so much time worrying about the street side of things, they didn't even realize running the city would take a turn. Julius would then assure the Playa they did something good. Even he believed it. He then tells the Playa he's now his right-hand man in the game, but he celebrated way too early.
We did it, Playa. 3rd Street owns this town. Now, that's not to say shit didn't cost. And I ain't talking about what happened to Johnny's leg or losing limb. Those 2 were soldiers. They knew the risk. Hell, Johnny gets off on it. We crushed a lot of families, Playa. And someday they're gonna holler at us. But believe me when I tell you, we did the right thing. With the rollers wiped out, Benjamin gone, and the Colombians in our pocket, there ain't gonna be a need for a gang war ever again. And in the end, that's gonna save a lot more lives than we took. So relax, Playa. You earned yourself a break. You've impressed the hell out of me, son. And I told the crew, you're gonna be my right hand. Hold up. Some berry just turned on his flashes. Yeah, Playa. I think I'm gonna have to call you back. This may take a while.
With the gangs gone, Heat came with that, leading the police chief Monroe to get Julius arrested so he can have someone running for mayor killed. Monroe even made a threat about killing Julius if he refused, so of course with him being naive to his bigger plan, the Playa does it.
This is Chief Monroe. If you want Julius back, listen to what I've got to say. Now, that stunt you pulled downtown with a rocket launcher cost my associates and I quite a bit of money. Now, I may not be an honest man, but I'm a fair one. So rather than turn Saints Row into a parking lot, I'm gonna let you work off what you owe me. There's a mayoral campaign going on, and I want one of the candidates taken off the ballot. Marshal Winslow is in his campaign bus right now, and he has an appointment with the northbound. Park that bus on the train tracks tonight, or you'll find Julius's body floating in the river tomorrow. Don't disappoint me. Julius is counting on you.
Did you handle it? Where the fuck is Julius?
Have you heard back from Monroe?
Nice work. But I don't think I can let Julius go until you do a little more community service. We'll be in touch.
Looks like we wait.
Why? So we can let this jag-off jerk us around? Fuck that!
And what would you rather do?
You know exactly what I'd like to do.
Johnny, we're not blowing up City Hall.
Hey, I'm just saying, it would solve a lot of problems. But there's gotta be a better plan than let's be Monroe's bitches.
You're right, there is. Marshal Winslow was a major public figure, and you can bet your ass that people would ask questions if the chief of police wasn't at his funeral. I say we hit Monroe during the funeral procession. That should show whoever he's working with that we're not fucking around.
You're saying we should assassinate the chief of police while he's at the funeral of the guy we just smashed?
Yeah.
Don't tease me, Dex.
Let's fucking do it.
Thanks to Johnny, though, they go to kill Monroe, leading the player to blindly take an offer from Alderman Hughes, someone else running for mayor, after he hears Julius will be there. But in this conversation, Hughes is literally explaining how the players and the Saints' naiveness helped him with his goal, which was to gentrify Saints Row, which is their stomping grounds. But the fact alone they didn't even know this shows how naive they were. But for the player, it was worse.
Your guest is here, Mr. Hughes.
Thanks, Stephen. If you don't mind, could you wait outside? I'm Richard Hughes. It is a pleasure to meet the man who handed me the election. No need to be modest, I'm serious. There's no way I could have beaten Marshal Winslow. God rest his soul. But you made the impossible happen, and for that, I can't thank you enough. I mean, had Winslow been the only person killed, attention would have definitely been cast on me. But after that fireworks display you pulled at his funeral, it's become abundantly clear these horrible crimes were perpetrated by the 3rd Street Saints. While before people criticized my Saints Row urban renewal plan, it is now being lauded. See, until you came along, I was displacing poor people. Now, I'm destroying a hotbed of gang activity. What can I say? The public is fickle. Champagne. As you get older, you quickly learn that there are only 2 types of people in this world. Race, money, gender, none of this matters. At the end of the day, you're either a winner or a loser. Now, the sad truth about our situation is that in order for me to be a winner, I have to level your neighborhood and salt the earth. Hold on for a moment. Stephen, could you come in here? Where was I? Oh yes, salting the earth. Now, I suppose I could try to pay you off. But really, what's the point? You just say no. Or in your case, stand there looking intimidating and we'd be right back to where we started.
While Hughes is explaining everything, he still didn't get it. What he's about to say shows his weakness for the fact alone he's not hearing what the words Hughes is saying. He's literally telling them he used them along with about to rebuild the road. But he said something stupid anyway.
So I figured I'd cut the middleman and get right to the point.
Hey, yo, can you speed this shit up? I want to go to Freckle Bitches.
You're going to die here, son. Make no mistake about that. But if it makes it any easier on you, I'll be sure to thank you in my acceptance speech. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a party to...
The player joined the Saints innocent. Him walking in the road was even a bad idea in the first place. He was too trustful. When he spoke, it was immature remarks, on top of not having a clue about anything once they ran things. But keep in mind, birds of a feather flock together, which is why his biggest weakness at this time was him being naive. Stay tuned to know what his weakness was for 2 and 3.
When the Vice Kings stopped being about protecting Sunnyvale, I knew it was time to get out of the game. I was hoping that Benjamin could keep the city locked down, but years passed, and it ended up being the same old shit. Only this time, the victims were the people in Saints Row. I thought the Vice Kings was a cautionary tale that I learned something from. That if I built a new street gang, I could control it, not make the same mistakes King did. I was so fucking naive.